And just like that, season 3, episode 6. Pick up with Carrie's house, Seema meeting her architect, her landscape architect. And I feel like they're trying to make fetch happen with this thing, with these two. I'm more interested in the fact that Seema, the big real estate mogul who sold Carrie her dream apartment with Big and actually sold her this palace in Gramercy Park, is broke, is the summary. She's going to the bank trying to get some kind of loan to start her business. So they laugh in her face. Carrie and her downstairs neighbor. They introduced him episode 5. But it seems like she's just learning that she has a tenant downstairs in the place that she bought. And he's a complete jerk. What? Like, why is he so rude to her? He tells her not to wear heels. Okay, they've got to give Carrie a gag so she can remind us how much high heels mean to her. LTW storyline picks up with her new producer, Marion, who is in the picture after her last editor left her to take a job with Steve McQueen. I was going to say Alexander McQueen. She's got a little work crush on him. Her husband's picking up on it, and they're having a lot of tension between his race and her trying to get this movie off the ground. She gets a call that she ignored because she was deep in the studio working with Marion to find out her dad died, which, oh my gosh, I'm a daddy's girl. This had me in complete tears. I was falling apart. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so sad. Until the internet pointed out that didn't her dad pass already? Like a couple seasons ago? I guess the writers forgot that. But okay. It seems they're doing a lot of overlap with Charlotte's storyline and LTW, with Charlotte confronting the fact that Harry, who has been diagnosed with prostate cancer, doesn't want to tell anyone. It's a little selfish not to allow her to reach out to anybody for support. And Charlotte just dives right head into, oh my gosh, death is so close. This could be me someday with Harry being sick. She goes to Harry to try to get comfort over the fact that she's worried that he's going to die. He's so rude to her. This version of Harry that they have is not the sweet guy who swept her off her feet during the series. Here he is kind of being a midlife jerk, and dealing with personal illness is a tough thing, and it can make you behave out of character. But it's a little uncomfortable watching Harry completely disregard her feelings. Aiden arrives at Gramercy, and it's a weird reunion. He completely breaks a window. Carrie, in her complete inability to just speak up for herself as a grown 50-plus woman, just pussyfoots around like, why the frig were you throwing rocks at my window, bro? Instead, somehow makes him feel really bad about breaking the window because it had rainbows in it. And their whole reunion gets thrown off track by this. And she makes a note that she hadn't seen him in 2 months by that point. It's so clear that he needs his space. Moving on to Miranda and her frustrating, ridiculous story. She's moving full steam ahead with her girlfriend, Joy. She doesn't want to move in with her because she doesn't want to be a lesbian trope. Okay. But she's going to meet her son. I think it's a little premature, but, again, tropes. Joy does not seem super stoked about that. Like, she is really not into the idea of being with a woman with a family. Meanwhile, she's still homeless. She was a complete roach of a house guest at Carrie's house. And to be honest with you, I would have put her. I don't care. She's not poor. She can afford an apartment. Miranda goes apartment shopping with Seema. She's being unrealistic. I don't want to participate in overpricing. Girl, are you going to participate in having an apartment, or are you going to continue to couch surf? Because New York City has overpriced apartments. She finally lands on one by the end of the episode, and I don't know. I guess it has something to do with her relationship with Joy progressing, because the meeting with Brady actually goes pretty well. Back at Gramercy, Aiden and Carrie get to talk about this window. He got like a bunch of windows. He's like, none of these are going to really work. Well, it turns out Aiden's got a little bomb he wanted to drop on her, that he actually slept with Kathy, his ex-wife, after the whole meltdown happened with Wyatt when they were trying to send him off to Wyoming. Carrie takes this really well, because she's like, well, we said we'd be giving each other, space for these next 5 years. And they realize that they never actually had a conversation defining their relationship. These are people in their 50s. They rekindle, they sleep together. It seems like they have reset to a new understanding. On his way out of Carrie's apartment, Aiden does get to run into Duncan. And again, I'm not 100% sure what they're trying to do here with Duncan, but I think I would prefer, if they were going to introduce a new character into Carrie's love life, that they just did it clean slate. And they let her date after Big died and really actually find someone meaningful and not just fall back on old habits. Of note, while LTW is planning her dad's funeral. She gets an invite to his funeral from her dad's girlfriend, and this upsets her naturally. So she goes to Newark to meet up with her. It's just so funny. Her comedic timing is everything. And so they come to a peaceful understanding and decide to plan the funeral, and it's going to be at her dad's theater. The funeral is kind of a Pippin-based theme. And LTW adapts, but she's unable to fully deliver the eulogy because she's overwhelmed by guilt over not being there when her dad's final moments. The last scene of the episode, Carrie is at a Dwayne Reed Walgreens somewhere in her neighborhood. We know that Charlotte lives on the Upper East Side. Turns out Charlotte is shopping down there because she's buying adult diapers for Harry, which is sad. So she finally breaks down and tells Carrie what's going on. And Carrie is doing the good friend thing. Her and the camera pans out. Overall, I will say this episode was an improvement over what we've been getting so far. Last note, I'm going to need Carrie to talk in more than just puns and quirky little quippy lines that she comes up with. They have to remember that they've taken away the voiceover. And the voiceover was something that in between the little quips gave Carrie as a character much more depth with its reflectiveness and its direction of the storytelling. So now that we don't have that, if Carrie's just going to be like, oh, a hole in one every, couple of minutes, that's how she talks, it doesn't work as well. Let's see how the story unfolds. If you enjoyed this coverage and want to hear more of my hot takes, recaps, and in-depth dives and your favorite shows, please check out my brand new podcast, Pretty Passionate, which is launching on a podcast streaming app near you.